show you how great I am.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I am the king of the world.
And I'm better now. I'm experienced now, professional.
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you be notified when I drop that heat. This video is sponsored by my boy Fats Classic. Definitely check his mixtape out in the description box. It is absolutely free. Definitely give him a download, give him a listen. And this video was sponsored by my boy Matt. Definitely check his apparel out on IG at WeAllFrom, WeAllFrom. Now, Adrien the Problem Broner, Manny Pacquiao fight was on pay-per-view, and it did over 400,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, a lot has come from this fight. There's been memes put out on Adrien Broner. Just a lot of people trashing him, shitting on him. And people have strong feelings about Adrien Broner, whether it's positive or negative. And, I mean, it's warranted because that's just the type of figure that Adrien Broner is. It's a testament to his marketing ability, and he's been doing this since day one. Now, it's a lot of different opinions out there in terms of what Adrien Broner should do next. There's some people that think Adrien Broner ain't no good and he should retire. There's some people that think Adrien Broner is just a bum in the ring that just talks. There's some people that still think Adrien Broner is going to get it together and reach his potential. There's people that still believe in Adrien Broner. Now, this is my take on it. And when people start using this darn phrase, you can credit your boy. You understand what I'm saying? You can credit your boy. Adrien Broner, he could be the first pay-per-view gatekeeper. Yes, you heard me correctly. I didn't stutter. Adrien Broner could be the first pay-per-view gatekeeper. Let me explain the phrase first, and then let me explain why I think that. All right? Now, what's the meaning of a pay-per-view star? Pay-per-view star is a boxer that has a high level of skill. A lot of times is probably one of the best boxers in the world and has mass appeal to the hardcore fan and the casual fan. And how we judge a potential pay-per-view star in the United States, I'm not talking about the UK, the United States, is when they do their first or second pay-per-view, it seems like the target number is around 300 to 350,000. It seems like that's the target number to determine whether a boxer has the potential to be a pay-per-view star. I'll give you a little quick case study. Floyd Mayweather Jr., his first fight on pay-per-view, did about 330,000. Canelo Alvarez, his first fight on pay-per-view, did over 300,000. Manny Pacquiao, his first pay-per-view was between 300 and 350. Oscar De La Hoya, his first pay-per-view was between 300 and 350. Even Miguel Cotto, I think his second pay-per-view was between 300 and 350. I think his second pay-per-view was against Zab Judah. His first pay-per-view was against Paulie Malignaggi. Yes, that was a pay-per-view. Canelo Alvarez, first pay-per-view, between 300 350. But let me give you the case study on the other end. Guys that have been a part of pay-per-views, but they didn't reach that 300 mark. Terrence Crawford. His first pay-per-view, I think it only did like 100. It might even did less than that, and that was against Victor Postal. Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. He fought David Lemieux on pay-per-view. That's when he said it was going to be Mexican style and all of that, and he went and put on a boxing clinic. That fell short of 300,000. I think that only did about 100. Okay. That's usually the guidelines that we go by in the U.S. That's the guidelines that we go by in the U.S. to determine whether a fighter is a potential pay-per-view star. And even most recent, you take Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they sold about 350. So there's a chance that Deontay Wilder might be a potential pay-per-view star as well as Tyson Fury. So that's the meaning of a pay-per-view star. Now, what's the meaning of a gatekeeper? A gatekeeper is a fighter that is known to the boxing hardcores, does not have the best record. They've taken losses in their career. A lot of times they'll fight in other people's hometowns, other people's backyards, short notice fights, things of that nature. But a gatekeeper is the guy that the prospects and the contenders will fight to find out if they're ready for prime time or if they're ready for championship status. That's the meaning of a gatekeeper. And mind you, I got a high level of respect for a lot of different fighters that the general public would quote unquote call gatekeepers. I think the best quote unquote boxer that was called a gatekeeper of all time is Emmanuel Augustus. Floyd Mayweather will tell you that was the toughest fight of his career against Emmanuel Burton / Emmanuel Augustus. That's the meaning of a gatekeeper. Now, since y'all know the definition of a pay-per-view star and the definition of a gatekeeper, I called Adrien Broner possibly the first pay-per-view gatekeeper. Let me get to why I say that. PBC first came out. Al Heyman first came out. Their objective was to phase out pay-per-view. Their objective was to phase out pay-per-view, put everything either on network TV or premium cable, but basically you paying your premium cable, whether it was HBO or Showtime, or $10 a month or $15 a month, that's all you would ever have to pay for any type of fight that PBC offered. PBC was trying to change the narrative back then. So during that time, PBC and Al Heyman did not produce any pay-per-view stars during that entire time. Not one. So what is Al Heyman and PBC doing right now? They're changing the narrative back to what it was originally, which is pay-per-view. We're going to start putting fights on pay-per-view because the only way you're going to build a pay-per-view star, which is something they're going to have to do because Floyd Mayweather's technically not fighting anymore, is they have to build a pay-per-view star. You only can build a pay-per-view star by putting them on pay-per-view. Now, Adrien Broner and Manny Pacquiao did over 400,000 pay-per-view buys. There's a lot of people that would say Manny Pacquiao was the reason why it went over 400,000. I would respectfully disagree. Let me tell you why. Manny Pacquiao fought Jesse Vargas on pay-per-view, and it did 2-something. It did under 300. 2-something. And this is Adrien Broner's first pay-per-view. And we all know, whether you love Adrien Broner, hate him, like him, dislike him. What he said after the Mikey Garcia fight, when he took a loss, he says, no matter who I fight or where I fight, y'all motherfuckers gonna come see me. And he's right. It proves it in these pay-per-view numbers. So if you factor in that Manny Pacquiao and Jesse Vargas did 2-something, they did under 300,000, and same Manny Pacquiao goes up against Adrien Broner and he does over 400, you can say Adrien Broner could be responsible for 40% of those numbers, possibly 50% of those numbers. Like, Adrien Broner was saying he was doing it for the hood. I'm going to tell you right now, the hood was buzzing. The hood was buzzing for this fight. It was fight parties and all that for this Manny Pacquiao Adrien Broner fight. Okay? So you don't sell 400,000 pay-per-view buys, whether you're the A side, B side, or whatever, and you go back to regular TV. It doesn't work like that. We all know what Adrien Broner brings to the table inside of the ring. We all know this. But these pay-per-view numbers show that Adrien Broner belongs on pay-per-view in a sense. It's hard to put somebody back on regular TV and they just did 400,000 pay-per-view buys. That goes for Manny Pacquiao and Adrien Broner. So we just established that, okay, you can't put AB back on TV. Can't put him back on regular TV. You know what I'm saying? You can't put him on network TV, NBC, CBS, Fox, because he's a loose cannon. Like, the censor button will be getting hit all the time. So it's either put him back on Showtime, main events, or keep him on pay-per-view. You do 400,000 pay-per-view buys, you don't put him back on regular Showtime. Adrien Broner is a money bag now. He's a pay-per-view guy. All right? Now, going forward, Al Heyman, PBC, is changing the narrative in boxing. They're doing pay-per-views now. They're not putting everything on regular TV. They're not putting everything for free for the consumer. So I'm going to put these scenarios out there. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. wanted to return to boxing, all of his fights is on pay-per-view. If it's Floyd Mayweather versus Adrien Broner on pay-per-view, do not lie to me. Do not lie to yourself. Y'all are going to watch it. And most of y'all are going to buy it. Worst case scenario is y'all going to go to a buddy's house and watch it, or y'all going to find some type of stream and watch it. Regardless, y'all are going to watch a Floyd Mayweather Adrien Broner fight. Point blank. Al Heyman can go up to Earl Spence. Let's just say Earl Spence beats Mikey Garcia. And Al Heyman says, okay, Earl Spence, we're going to give you Adrien Broner. We're going to get that to you on pay-per-view. Y'all are going to buy Earl Spence versus Adrien Broner on pay-per-view. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. Bob Arum can get it to the mix. He'd be like, you know what? AB, we want for you to fight Terrence Crawford on pay-per-view. We're going to pay you a nice bag. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to yourself. If it's Terrence Bud Crawford versus Adrien the Problem Broner on pay-per-view, y'all are going to buy it. Y'all are going to watch it. Worst case scenario. Those are 3 examples right there. Those are 3 examples right there of fights where Adrien Broner could be on pay-per-view. And he would be the considerable underdog. He would be the B side of the pay-per-view. which would make him what? A pay-per-view gatekeeper. And then I can give you a couple more examples as well, where if the circumstances changed a little bit, y'all will buy this too. Danny Garcia is another name. Danny Garcia, Adrien Broner, pay-per-view. If both of those guys was on a winning streak, some of y'all are going to buy that. If Chino Maidana came back and they said we going to put Chino Maidana and Adrien Broner on pay-per-view, y'all are going to buy it and or watch it. Even if it was a Keith Thurman, Adrien Broner pay-per-view, there's a pretty good chance y'all will buy that too, especially if Keith Thurman had 2 or 3 of the 4 belts. Despite all of the criticism that Adrien Broner gets, a lot of it is well deserved. You know what you're getting from Adrien Broner inside of the ring. He faces guys that are B- fighters and C fighters. He gonna look good. Any fighter that's a B+, or A fighter is either gonna be a close fight or he's gonna flat out lose. We know what we gonna get from AB inside of the ring, but we also know what we gonna get from AB outside of the ring. You can't deny the fact that Adrien Broner was a part of a 400,000 pay-per-view buy event. You can't put him back on regular TV. You can't put him back on network TV. You gotta cash in on Adrien Broner's popularity. So I just gave you plenty of examples of him being on pay-per-view, scenarios where the masses would buy it, and he would be the B-side and the underdog on every single of those examples. So that's why I said Adrien Broner's in a, different type of situation, a new type of situation. But if you think about it, Adrien Broner could be the very first pay-per-view gatekeeper. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.